Hello, I'm Ina Sharavinsky and this is Military Mind. Armed conflicts, defense and security, land, sea and air. We've got you covered. Now, overnight, the Russian army again attacked Ukraine with drones targeting the Kiev region and Kharkiv in particular. In the former, State of Emergency Service of Ukraine reported that drones struck a parking lot, wounding 2 people. In Kharkiv, on the other hand, the drones damaged residential buildings, with the mayor reporting 4 people killed and 35 wounded. On the front line, the situation in the border area between Popovka and Demidovka remains stably tense. According to pro-Kremlin Telegram channels, the village of Popovka is in the grey zone, and attempts to deploy Ukrainian reinforcements in the area are being stopped. In Demidovka, the Ukrainian military maintains control only of the southern portion of the village. Moving to the eastern part of the front now, the Russian Defense Ministry announced that its forces had captured the village of Rozliv. This marks a continued westward advance as part of a larger campaign. The Ukrainian military acknowledged 5 attacks on Rozliv and neighboring Constantinople, but did not concede that Rozliv was under Russian control. In a late update, the Ukrainian General Staff noted 3 battles were still going on in the area. Turning to the Middle East now, early today, the Israel Defense Forces announced the launch of a new ground offensive east of Gaza City, aiming to expand what they call a security zone within the Palestinian territory. According to the military, Israeli troops began operations in the Shejaiya area of northern Gaza earlier today. Meanwhile, on Thursday, Israel continued its intense airstrikes and shelling across various parts of the Gaza Strip. The targets included schools sheltering displaced families. Dozens of Palestinians were reported killed and wounded, including many women and children. We open with footage showing a Russian T-80 tank equipped with a mine-clearing plow, a so-called Tsar Mangal grill, and a conveyor belt, which has been spotted on the battlefield. This unusual configuration reflects ongoing Russian attempts to adapt their armored vehicles to the realities of modern warfare. The mine-clearing plow is meant to enhance survivability in mined areas, while the Tsar Mangal cage, initially designed as protection against drone attacks, has proven largely ineffective. The addition of a conveyor belt is a peculiar field modification, possibly intended for logistical support or additional armor. Such improvised modifications highlight the challenges Russian forces face in countering Ukraine's advanced drone and mine warfare tactics, often resorting to ad hoc solutions with questionable effectiveness. Either that, or they are auditioning for the next Mad Max film. Anyway, moving on. Now we're going to take a look at footage of a Russian assault near Toretsk that turned into a chaotic motor championship show. The attack began with so-called war bikers, followed by assault troops in Chinese-made buggies, and finally, a few armored personnel carriers entering the fray. The video captures yet another failed attempt by Russian forces to break through the defenses of Ukraine's 12th Special Operations Brigade, Azov. Ukrainian infantry, strike drones and tanks worked in coordination to eliminate both enemy troops and vehicles before they could establish a foothold in the urban area. Now, we're going to move on to our final feature today. A video from Ukrainian war blogger Yuri Butusov showing a Russian soldier on the Kherson front describing the dire conditions he and his fellow invaders are facing. With no reliable supply of food or clean water, they resort to boiling nettles and drinking water from shell craters, purified with what little chlorine they actually have left. The sky belongs entirely to Ukrainian forces in the area, and constant drone surveillance makes resupply missions nearly impossible. The soldiers' commanders show no concern. Soon another batch of expendable convicts will arrive to replace those lost.
Братан, здорово. Ну вот, еду приготовить решил. Тут крапивки немного собирали, а жрать вообще не. Вот вода, из воронки. Болото, блядь. Немного хлопки было, добавили, блядь. Такая байда, блядь. Хуйня, братан, блядь, прорвемся. Всякое бывает. Такой хуй. Проживаем. Сейчас я, может, немного закажу. Вот выкопали. Полметра залазишь сюда, как в склеп. Маленькая. Час назад вообще не выбраться, блядь. Хуй, как могли. Проблема с водой, с едой, нахуй. Совсем проблема, блядь. Занести никак не могут, блядь. Все ихнее. Да все покоцано, блядь. Ни леса, ни хуй. Вон там Днепр. А там Днепр, блядь. Палят, нахуй, постоянно.
Of course, when you arrive at the front line, you don't expect five-star treatment, but the problem lies elsewhere. It lies with the Russian leadership, because Putin doesn't really care about the lives or the well-being of his own troops. If he did, he wouldn't have started the war, because Russia's casualties are absolutely massive. Hundreds of thousands killed or eliminated from the front line. And this is really the core of the issue here. These troops, having seen what's going on at the front line and how little the leadership cared for them, one day may return home. And if I were Vladimir Putin, I would be worried about a possible backlash from people who went to the front, they saw the reality of Russia's war, and now are coming back and might not like what the leadership has in store for them as they arrive. And with this, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.